Hello everyone, and welcome to this video about the Employee Self-Serve Portal offered through Columbia EDP. We want to take some time today in this video and kind of discuss a little bit of the basic functionality of the Employee Self-Serve Portal. If you have used our previous version of ESS, you'll notice that there's a little bit of difference in how it's set up and the look and the feel of it, but what you'll find is it still does offer the same functionality, and even with a couple of enhancements for you. The primary one being that it is now mobile enabled for you to be able to view this on your iPads or on your Android tablets, your smartphones, your iPhones, whatever mobile device that you use. You can view and have full functionality in a mobile environment with the touch enabled and those type of things with this new version of the Employee Self-Serve Portal. So let's go ahead and get into this. And so the first thing that you're going to notice, again, if you've used the previous versions of Employee Self-Serve, the web address is actually changed for this. So you want to make sure that as you get into this site, you're going to want to bookmark this new web address and take out the old one. If you've not used it before, obviously you want to bookmark this. You can also still get to this through our main website at columbiaedp.com. There will be a button there for the Employee Self-Serve login that will take you to this very same page. So we have also now 3 tabs across the top. One is for the secure user login, which is our main way to get into the system. There is a new user registration tab right here. However, I don't believe that you're probably going to have to use this. You can if you have not received a username or password from your payroll point of contact within the organization, or maybe your employer, your HR person. You can self-register. However, it does require that you have a copy of your latest pay stub, because there's very specific information that needs to come off of that pay stub. So that pay stub has your company code on there. It will have your check number on there, and it'll also have your current total earnings on there as well. And that's the only place you're going to find that information. But again, like I said, primarily we like to set everybody up initially with a username and password, and your payroll point of contact should have that information. So if you don't have it, my suggestion would be to go ahead and contact them first before going through this new user registration. We like to make this as easy as possible for you to get into the system, so that's why we do that for you initially. The other section here is the forgot password. So if you have had access to the system, and maybe it's been a little while since you've gotten into it, and like most of us, you tend to forget those passwords if you don't use them all the time. If we have an email address for you in the system, it will email you that password or email you a link to get to reset your password after you've answered some security questions. But don't worry about it. If you don't have an email address in the system, you can always contact your payroll person or your HR person, and we can get that taken care of for you and get you reset and get you the new information. So let's go ahead and go back to this main secure user logon page. And so what you'll see on this one is we have a nice little welcome message for you, and we also have the link that will take you to the mobile version of this website. So if you access this main login through your iPad or your tablet or your phone, you have the link right there, which makes it which takes you straight to the mobile version, which makes it much easier to navigate. But we're going to go ahead and log in now, and we're going to click on the sign in button. And what you'll notice is on this first initial login, it's going to ask you to set up your 3 security questions and ask you for just a general email address. And I already have mine in there for now, but you would just put in whatever email address you want the system to have for you. The benefits email address is not required unless we have the benefits module turned on, the benefit enrollment portion of Employee Self-Serve turned on. So you don't have to put anything in there. You can if you'd like, but it's not going to affect anything. The next portion down here, the next section, is where we set up our security questions. So I just want you to set these up real quick for you, and I'm just going to fill in some information on these just to get us through the system fairly quickly. And section 3, and let's say my high school mascot, and we're just going to say it was a dog. And then we click on the save icon up here to save those settings. Now once we've done that, we get a nice little confirmation over here saying our settings were successfully updated or changed. Just click on the X to close that out, or it will go away eventually on its own. So let's talk about a little bit what's at the top. So you're going to see our logo obviously up here. This will be your actual company information right here, company name, and then your name right here. Over here to the right are some navigation, is a navigation area for you. So this home button is going to take you back to this screen right here. This menu button is really pretty much going to mirror everything that you're going to see down here, just in different icons and different ways to get to the information you're looking for. This contact button right here is going to bring up who your point of contact is, your payroll point of contact is at your organization, their phone number, and their email address so that you can email them if you want as well, with questions about what's going on in the, or what information is here in the employee self-serve portal for you. The other option here is your settings options, and so this is where you can come in and change your email address, change your password, set up different security questions if you'd like. We're going to close that out, and then you would save it, or if you wanted to delete those settings out, you could delete those out as well. But we're going to close that out. We're going to keep what we have. And then of course this one is the exit, which is the log out. It logs you out of the system. So let's talk about what's down below this information. So now here we have 5 major sections within the employee self-serve portal. This first one is just your personal information that we have in the system for you, which is displayed here. The next one is your pay information, and your W-2 information is right in this section right here. This third one is our resources. So if your employer wants you to have access to internal resources for the organization, maybe they have an electronic version of an employee manual or an employee packet, or maybe benefit information, and they have that linked somewhere that they want you to be able to get to that. That's going to be displayed in this section here. And if we track your time off accrual balances in our payroll system, and your employer wants to make that available for you to be able to see that information through the employee self-serve portal, that will be displayed here along with the balances. This last section right here is the messages section. So if there's something that your employer, maybe your supervisor, wants you to see when you log into the system, they can put out different messages for you. So here we have 2 messages, and one is the company meeting is this Friday at 10, please see Joe, and the other one is about benefit enrollment is coming up in May. So just different information your employer wants you to see. But I want to get a little more in depth into some of these sections so you can see what's really there for you. So let's go into this your information area. So I'm going to click on this icon that has the 3 little dots, and you'll notice that that's in every section here. And what that does, that really takes you to more information about that area. So you'll see here we have your personal information, your name and your address, and if we have a phone number for you, email address for you, and a date of birth, that'll be in the system and that'll show here for you. This is where you can see what your federal or your tax filing status is, either by federal or by state. So we can see for this employee, we have that they are at a federal status of single and 0 dependents. You can see they have a state tax is in Missouri. Marital status is married, and dependence is 0 again. Now if you want to see your pay rates, you're going to notice that as we go through different parts of the website this morning, that you'll see this eye icon here, and when you click on that, it's just going to give you more information that's not really available on the initial view. So this shows you what your pay rate is. This is an hourly employee, so there's 0 in for the salary, but you can see that their rate 1 is at $5 an hour, and it's their primary rate. If you have multiple pay rates for working maybe different shifts or maybe working in different departments, those rates will actually be shown here as rate 1, 2, 3, 4, however many you have, and then what maybe department they're tied to. So we can close this screen out by clicking on the X right up here. And now we're going to go back to the home page. We're going to click on Home. That's going to take us back to our main page. So we've seen what our information is here. Now we're going to come into this pay area, which is primarily the reason why you're going to be coming into the system, because you want to look at pay stubs or maybe W-2s. So the system by default will show the 3 most recent pay stubs on this screen here. Now we only have 1 pay stub for this individual right now, But you can look right on this screen if you want to see what your gross salary was. Again, we have that little eye icon right here. We just click on that and it shows us our gross was $400 for that check. But I want to see more about what's in that check. I want to actually see my pay stub for that. So we just click on the date. When we click on the date, it pops up a little preview window for you, and it shows you all of your information for that for that check date. Now you can change the view a little bit in here. You can actually make that a little smaller or make it a little bigger. The other nice thing is that you have the option to be able to save your pay stub off. So if you click on this little icon here, what that's going to do is that's actually going to save and download a copy of your pay stub. Depending on what browser you're using, it will ask you different things about maybe where you want to save it, or I'm using Chrome, so it automatically saves it for me. But here is the full image of your pay stub. Now again, I'm using Chrome, so my tools on whether I want to print this or save this document are down the bottom right hand corner. If you're using Internet Explorer, maybe a different browser, those controls will be in different places. So right here I can actually print that this copy of my pay stub off if I'd like to, or if I want to save it in a different location, I can do that as well. I'm going to close that tab out and we're going to go back to this main area. And so there's the preview again. So if you just want to look at your pay stub to see what you're actually paid or maybe what your year-to-date information, this is how you would do it. So we're going to close that out. The W-2s work exactly the same way, and so we can click on the W-2, and we have one out there for 2007 for this employee. We click on that W-2 link, and there is the version of the electronic version of his W-2. So again, we can change the view, how we view things, and we can actually do exactly the same thing as the pay stubs. We can save that out and actually click on that, and it will open up a version that we can now print out or save somewhere else if we choose. So let's go back to this main preview screen. We're going to close that out. So this is great if you only need to see the last 3 pay stubs, but what if you need to go further back than that? Well, again, we come back to this 3-dot area right up here and we click on that. Now this employee is a demo employee, so I just want you to know that up front. So we don't have any check dates, any check dates in 2015 for them. But if we go down to 2014, you can see this one. If we had history on this employee, it would show those check dates listed chronologically in order right down here, and you could click on any one of them and bring up that payroll information as well. Same with the W-2s. When we would see their W-2s, it will give you listed by year, and you can open up any W-2s for any previous year that we have in the system for you. I believe the system carries 10 years worth of payroll history, so you can go back 10 years to look at pay stubs if we have them in the system for you. Okay, so the next section that we want to kind of get into is the resources section right here. And again, this is resources that your employer wants to put out for your HR person or your payroll person wants you to have access to. And the base one that we have out right here right now, I think they can put out 3 or 4 different links for you. And so the most important resources will be shown right here on this page. So we can click on that employee packet. That's actually going to take us to maybe where they want you to go. So we have that for demo purposes linked back to our website. But maybe it is an manual they want you to be able to access electronically, or maybe a policy manual, or some other form they want you to be able to access quickly. They'll put it right here for you. Now again, let's go ahead and click on these 3 dots right here, and what you're going to see is now there's more information out there for your employer that your employer wants you to see. So here is a link to the W-4s. So when it comes around at the time of the year we need to resubmit our W-4s, we can actually do that right here. We can actually click on that on the federal W-4 link, and that takes you to a copy of the W-4s. You can fill that out, print that out, and then turn that in to your payroll contact, so that you can have a quick access to the W-4 form. And this is the same for the state, for Missouri. Now we can put out any state, regardless of what state you're working in, we can put those out there for you to be able to have access to. So let's go back to the home page. And now let's get into this section for the time off accrual. Now keep in mind that if we track your time off accrual for your organization, then it will show here, and it will show your balances and your breakouts. Now for this demo purposes, we just have three categories of family illness, self-illness, or appointments. Yours may be personal time off, maybe it's vacation, maybe it's sick, maybe we even put bereavement out there so you can see what your balances are and what you have left to be able to utilize on there. And so this will give you what your balances are. Okay. So then the last section I kind of want to go into is the messages portion down here, and this is where your employer, your HR person, again, can put messages out there for you so that you can see them when you log into the system. It just allows you to interact a little bit with it. So let's kind of come back up here to the menu button. I want to show you what this does. This is the idea behind this is that we want you to get to your information however you're most comfortable with. So this menu button here is really just going to kind of mirror the same information that's right down in here. So if we clicked on Your Info, it's going to take us to the Your Info page that we just saw a few minutes ago with more detailed information. If we go to the Pay icon, it's going to do exactly the same thing. It's going to bring up your pay information here. So it's just a different way of being able to get to the same information. It's just a matter of which way are you more comfortable in getting there. Okay, so this video here covered the basic usage of employee self-serve for you. How do we log in? How do we look at our pay stubs? How do we look at our W-2s and different information in the system? There are more advanced features to the employee self-serve that we'll cover in a different video, but those are things that have to be enabled by your employer. Those things include where you can request changes to your personal information, your W-4 information. Maybe you want to change how many dependents you're claiming. Maybe you want to change what your filing status is. Perhaps you've recently got married and you want to change your last name in the system, or you've moved recently and you want to change your address in the system. You can submit those to be approved by your payroll person or your HR person to be in the system. There's also the option where you can request time off through the system and have that approved or what have you. And then finally, there's also an enrollment option for benefits and healthcare coverage that your employer may offer. You can go in there and do what we call self-enrollment and choose the packages, benefit packages that you want for you or your family through the system as well. So I hope this video was informative for you. I hope it was helpful for you on how to navigate around in the employee self-serve. And again, please come back. We'll have more videos on different functionality and different services, different products that we offer for you guys. So thanks and have a great day.